Welcome back to another enlightening episode of Journey to the Best You. I'm your host, Susan, and joining me today is our esteemed guest and motivation coach, Larry Donowan. Larry, it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Susan. It's great to be back and to discuss something as crucial as accountability in the realm of motivation.
Absolutely. Accountability is a term that's often thrown around, especially in professional settings, but its true essence goes beyond just keeping track of tasks. It's more profound and can serve as a potent catalyst for personal growth and achieving success. Larry, could you shed some light on how you perceive accountability in the context of motivation?
Certainly, Susan. At its core, accountability is about taking ownership of our actions and decisions. It's the commitment we make to ourselves and to others, ensuring we follow through on our promises, intentions, and goals. From a motivational perspective, being accountable can significantly boost our drive. When we know someone is watching or when we have an obligation to report our progress, we're more likely to stay on track. It's a blend of responsibility and self-discipline.
That makes sense. So, it's like having a gym buddy. Knowing that someone expects you to show up can be the difference between hitting the snooze button and getting out of bed.
Precisely. But it's also more than that. Accountability is not just about external pressures. It's also about an internal contract we make with ourselves. When we set goals and commit to achieving them, keeping ourselves accountable helps in solidifying our intentions and amplifying our motivation.
I love that an internal contract. It's a powerful concept. And with the digital age, there are numerous tools and platforms that offer to keep us accountable. But Larry, in your experience, what has been the most effective way to integrate accountability into one's daily routine?
Great question. While apps and digital platforms can be beneficial, I've always believed in the power of human connection. Whether it's an accountability partner, a mentor, or even just a friend who checks in on your progress, having someone who genuinely cares about your success can be incredibly motivating. The key is regular communication and honesty. If you're not making progress, it's essential to admit it, understand why, and figure out how to get back on track.
Indeed, human connection is irreplaceable. As we delve deeper into this topic, I'm looking forward to exploring various facets of accountability and understanding how our listeners can harness its power to boost their motivation.
As am I, Susan. Let's dive in.
Continuing our discussion on accountability, Larry, it seems to me that in our modern, digitally driven age, it's easy for many to hide behind screens and thus evade accountability. While digital tools can help, they can also hinder. How do we strike a balance?
That's an insightful observation, Susan. In our digital age, it's become easier than ever to ghost commitments, delay tasks, or simply shut down when things become challenging. But at the same time, digital platforms have provided us with innovative ways to keep ourselves and others accountable. The key, as with most things, is moderation and understanding the tools at your disposal.
Can you elaborate a bit more on these tools?
Certainly. There are plenty of apps out there designed specifically for goal setting and accountability. Tools like Trello, Asana, and even basic calendar apps can be set up to send reminders about tasks or milestones. Some apps allow you to collaborate with friends or colleagues, letting them see your progress and vice versa. This visibility can act as a potent motivator.
I can imagine. Knowing that someone else can see my unchecked tasks would definitely light a fire under me.
Exactly. And beyond apps, we have social media. Now, I know social media can be a double-edged sword, but when used purposefully, platforms like Instagram or Facebook can be incredible accountability tools. For instance, publicly announcing a goal or commitment can significantly heighten the feeling of responsibility to follow through.
Ah, the power of public commitment. There's research supporting that, isn't there?
Absolutely. Studies have shown that making a public commitment increases the likelihood of sticking to a new behavior. That's because it taps into our deep-seated need for social consistency. We want our actions to align with our public declarations to maintain social credibility.
That's intriguing. And while public commitments are powerful, what about those who are more private or introverted? How can they leverage accountability without the public spotlight?
That's a crucial point, Susan. Not everyone feels comfortable with public declarations, and that's okay. For those individuals, having one trusted friend or family member to whom they can confide their goals can be just as effective. This is where the concept of an accountability partner comes into play. This person is someone you regularly update about your progress, challenges, and successes. They provide a listening ear, encouragement, and sometimes that gentle nudge when you might be veering off course.
A personal cheerleader of sorts.
Exactly. It's about finding what works best for you. Whether it's a public declaration, a digital tool, or an accountability partner, the essential element is the commitment to oneself, reinforced by external checks and balances.
It's clear that accountability, in whichever form it takes, can be a formidable ally in our journey towards success and self-improvement.
Absolutely, Susan. When harnessed correctly, it's one of the most potent tools in our motivational arsenal.
Let's dive a little deeper into the psychology of accountability. Larry, in your experience, how does the mind respond to being held accountable? Does it inherently resist, or does it embrace the challenge?
Great question, Susan. The human psyche has a multifaceted relationship with accountability. On one hand, we all possess a basic need for autonomy. We want to feel that we have control over our actions, and being held accountable can sometimes feel like an infringement on that autonomy. However, on the other hand, our minds also crave structure and clarity. Accountability provides that framework, giving our actions purpose and direction.
It sounds like a delicate balance between freedom and structure.
Precisely. The key is to shift the perception of accountability from being an external imposition to an empowering tool for personal growth. When we start viewing accountability as a means to achieve our goals rather than an obligation, the entire dynamic changes. Our mind begins to see it as a challenge, a game even, where we're aiming to score points by accomplishing tasks and meeting expectations.
That shift in perspective seems crucial. So, for someone struggling with accountability, how can they begin to cultivate this mindset?
One practical approach is to start small. Commit to something minor but meaningful and share that commitment with someone. It could be as simple as reading 10 pages of a book every day or going for a short walk. The act of verbalizing the intention amplifies its significance in our mind.
And by doing that consistently, I imagine it builds a sort of accountability muscle?
Exactly. Just like any other skill, the more we practice accountability, the better we become at it. Over time, these small acts of commitment lay the foundation for bigger, more ambitious goals. The positive feedback loop of setting, committing, and achieving propels us forward.
There's also the element of reward, right? How does that play into this?
Rewards are a powerful motivator. When we achieve a goal, our brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. This is nature's way of reinforcing beneficial behaviors. Incorporating tangible rewards, even small ones, when we meet our commitments can amplify this natural response. It could be something as simple as treating oneself to a favorite snack or a short break.
So, in essence, by integrating rewards into our accountability structure, we're aligning with our brain's natural inclinations.
Precisely. We're working with our brain's reward system, not against it. It makes the journey of accountability not just productive, but enjoyable as well.
Fascinating insights, Larry. It's evident that while the road of accountability has its challenges, it's laden with opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Building on that idea of rewards and our brain's natural inclinations, Larry, let's delve into the societal structures of accountability. In many communities and cultures, there's an ingrained sense of responsibility towards one's family, peers, and larger society. How does this cultural aspect impact personal accountability?
That's a thoughtful observation, Susan. Cultural norms play a substantial role in shaping our relationship with accountability. In societies where there's a strong emphasis on communal values and collective welfare, individuals often internalize accountability as a duty not just to themselves, but to the larger group. This can be both a motivator and, at times, a source of pressure.
It sounds like a double-edged sword. On one hand, having that external expectation can drive one to achieve more, but on the other hand, it might lead to undue stress and a feeling of being overwhelmed.
Precisely. In cultures with a strong communal ethos, the sense of responsibility towards others can indeed be a powerful driving force. It often instills discipline, resilience, and a strong work ethics. However, the flip side is that the fear of letting others down can sometimes lead to anxiety, overextension, and even burnout.
So, how does one navigate this balance? How can we harness the positive aspects of societal accountability while mitigating its potential drawbacks?
The first step is self-awareness. It's vital to recognize and understand one's personal boundaries and limitations. While it's commendable to strive for excellence and fulfill our duties towards others, it's equally important to ensure we're not compromising our well-being. Setting clear boundaries and communicating them effectively can alleviate undue pressures.
And I suppose having a support system plays a significant role as well?
Absolutely. Surrounding oneself with understanding and supportive individuals can make a world of difference. These could be friends, family, or even mentors and coaches like myself. They can provide perspective, offer guidance, and most importantly, remind you that it's okay to seek help and take breaks.
It's heartening to hear that even in the complex interplay of personal and societal expectations, there's room for understanding and compassion.
Indeed, Susan. At the end of the day, accountability, whether personal or societal, is a tool. Its true power lies in how we wield it, with intention, awareness, and a balance between ambition and well-being.
That's a profound takeaway. As we look at the myriad ways accountability shapes our lives, it's crucial to remember its ultimate goal, to propel us forward, but not at the cost of our health and happiness. As we approach the end of this insightful conversation, Larry, I'd love for you to leave our listeners with some tangible steps they can take to embrace the power of accountability in their daily lives.
Certainly, Susan. First and foremost, set clear and achievable goals for yourself. Break them down into smaller tasks if necessary. This provides a roadmap and sense of direction.
Breaking things down always makes them more manageable, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Secondly, find an accountability partner or group. This could be a friend, family member, or colleague. Share your goals with them and check in regularly. Just knowing that someone else is aware of your goals can provide that extra push.
That's a fantastic suggestion. It's always easier when you have someone walking alongside you on your journey.
Indeed. And thirdly, celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. This positive reinforcement can motivate you to keep pushing forward. Remember, every step, no matter its size, brings you closer to your goal.
Beautifully said. It's all about progress, not perfection.
Precisely. And lastly, always reflect on your journey. Understand what's working for you and what's not. This continuous feedback loop allows for growth and adjustment, ensuring you're always moving in the right direction.
Thank you, Larry, for sharing such valuable insights today. I believe our listeners now have a deeper understanding of the significance of accountability in driving motivation and success.
It's been a pleasure, Susan. Remember, embracing accountability is a journey, not a destination. It's about consistently striving to be the best version of oneself.
Wise words to end on. Thank you, Larry, and to our listeners, until next time, stay motivated and keep pushing forward.